Hello friends, so today we are going to learn what is immutable class and how can we create our own immutable class. So this is one of the most important question asked in interviews. So let's start. So immutable class, such a class whose object once created will not allow to perform any changes in its existing object is called as immutable class. If we are trying to perform any changes on that object, then with those changes a new object will be created, and if there is no change, then existing object will be used all the time. So how can we create our own immutable class? So let's understand it. So for creating our own immutable class, we will take a final class, and we have taken a final class, and we have taken a private int I. We have declared a variable I, and we have taken a constructor, and inside that we are passing a variable I, and we are passing this value to the global variable, and here we have a method change value, and it's returning immutable class object. So here in change value we are passing again integer I, and here again we are checking if the global value of this past value is equal or not. If it's equal, then we are returning the same object again, otherwise we are creating a new object. So here we have taken a main class to understand this. We have created a new object obj1 with this constructor, so it's going this side inside this constructor, and it's passing this 10 value to this global value I, this dot I. So the value of I is 10 currently, so a new object will be created having the value I is equal to 10, and this obj1 will refer to this object. Here we are again creating obj2, and we are modifying the value of obj1 like I is equal to 10, so we are trying to give 100 at its value. So it will go inside this, it will check the global value of I is 10, and that is not equal to the past value, that is 100. So it will go inside the else block, and it will create a new object. So in new object obj2 having I is equal to 100 will be created, and obj2 will refer to this object. Then again we are trying to change the value of this obj1 of I is equal to 10 to 10 again. So here it will go inside this change value method, and it will compare that the value of 10 and the past value 10 is same, so it will return the same object. So obj3 will refer to the same object, the first one, and if we are trying to sys out, like we will print the comparison of obj1 and obj2. So you can see in the diagram the obj1 and obj2, these are two different objects, so it will return v as false, and obj1 and obj3, obj1 here and obj3, these are referring to the same object, so we will get true. And again we are changing the value of obj1 to 100, so again it will create a new object. obj2 is already there, but we are trying to modify the value again to 100, so it will not refer to this one, it will create a new object I is equal to 100, and this obj4 will refer to this newly created object. So here the result will be false. So let's understand this program in STSID. So let's create a new class. We have same name, immutable class, and inside this immutable class let's make it final, and we will create declare a variable I, int I, and then we have a constructor, parameterized constructor. We are passing I here, and we are passing this value to the global variable, and here we will create a method to modify the value, and it will create an object of this class. So let's have the name at modify value int I. Then we will check if the value of the global I is equal to this past value. Need not to have curly braces because we will have only one line after if. So if both the values are same, so we'll return the same object. Otherwise we will go inside else block, we will return new object, immutable class object having this value I. So for testing purpose, let's create a main method. Inside that we will create obj1 is equal to new immutable class. We will pass 10 as in our previous example. So let's try to modify the value of obj1, and we will store it to object2, and we are trying to modify obj1 dot modify value. We will take here as 100. Let's modify it again, and we will try to hold it on obj3, obj1 dot modify to 10 again. Then let's print obj1 is equal to obj2, and let's copy this obj1 is equal to obj3. So let's see the result. Okay, so see, obj1 is equal to obj2. These are two different objects because obj1 newly created and we are trying to modify the value. So we are getting a new object obj2, and obj1 and obj3 we are passing 10, so it will go inside this and it will return this object only. So we will have the same object, so it's true, obj1 and obj3. Let's have another object. What we have, mutable class obj4 is equal to obj1 dot modify value to 100 again. So it's again create a new object, and sorry, this should piece this out. Then we will compare obj2 and obj4. Both the objects are different here. The value of I within both the object is same, but this obj2 and obj4 is different because we are trying to modify obj1. So here obj4 will be new. So let's print it. Let's run this program. Okay, so here false, true, false. This one is false. These are both the different objects. These refer to the same object, and here these are also referring to the different objects. So here we verified. So that's it. Thanks for watching.